It's the CFG, and welcome to the Confident Fat Guy podcast. What is going on, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of the Confident Fat Guy podcast. I hope you guys have had an amazing week. I hope you had a great weekend. You know, since I was younger, I've always wondered what my purpose in life was. Have any of you ever felt the same way? I see all these people that land these dream jobs or this, I don't know if you want to call it this fantasy life where they found their purpose, whether it was a CEO, a cop, a firefighter, paramedic, president of the United States. I always thought that being a firefighter was my purpose. But then I tried, 5 or 6 times to get on a career fire department. Um, but I never got even in the top 10 until I forgot what year. I placed 6 out of 65 at Elwood Fire Department here in Indiana. But the list, it expired before it was my turn. I've I applied for IFD, which was the hardest test I ever took. I got a job offer from a fire department in Cass County, but their requirements were just not to where was feasible for me because they wanted me to volunteer at their department for a certain amount of time and then they would hire me on full time. And at that time I was already on a volunteer fire department and I was 30 minutes away. I spent 12 years mastering the craft and I wasn't even close of being prepared like I thought I was. And we're not going to get into the full story. We've already talked about my firefighting journey. This episode is about purpose and what your purpose in life is. And I still struggle with that today, trying to figure out what my purpose in life was. Has it already passed me by? Has it Did I give up something that I was already supposed to do? I don't know. Like I think about it all the time. And I know the people that land, their dream job or, their what their meaning or their purpose was. They work hard for that. And it just bugs me because I also work hard at every one of my jobs that I've had and you know, I spent 5 years. Well, I spent 8 years at one place, 5 years at another. But sometimes the problem with me is I get bored, and it's just not that fulfillment feeling. Sorry, that I hear people talking about. Even at 39 years old, I still can't figure out what my purpose was or what my purpose is. Don't get me wrong, I love my current job and I'm grateful for the opportunity. And that's the thing. I take all these opportunities that are thrown at me, but then it's like after a while it's like I get this feeling of man, I feel like I'm up for something better. And I have all these hobbies. I love finances, I love real estate. I love the Confident Fat Guy brand and I'm working hard on the Confident Fat Guy brand. Hell, maybe the CFG brand was meant for me. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it. And I started it for a purpose. And I want to grow it to, things I never even thought that I was capable of doing. It's just that confidence. And I've got to keep that confidence up if I want to succeed. And that's been a big struggle through my life is confidence and the mentality of I can do it instead of, the negativity that has surrounded most of my life. Because honestly, I never thought I was meant for anything good. I never thought that I would have two beautiful children, have so much in life that has been presented to me and I failed because of my confidence, my mental health, my attitude. So yeah, maybe my purpose in life was already past. Maybe I ruined an opportunity that I already had. The world may never know, honestly. And honestly, there's people that hasn't worked hard at all and their dream falls in their lap. And there's other people that have major success, content creating or OF or all these other platforms that I've just started learning about the past few years, when I started the CFG brand. I don't know, man. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy. Like, I'm a happy person. I'm a very confident but not cocky. There's confidence and there's cockiness. And sometimes it's hard for me to practice what I preach. I studied myself for 2 years, on life skills and life coaching and because I don't want people to make the same mistakes that I have or have the same feelings that I did. And I know there's millions and millions of people that do. Mental health cost me so much in my life, whether it was friendships, relationships, jobs, money. Like, I've had some really good jobs throughout my life. And if I was more smarter with my money and learning the things that I know now, I would honestly be set right now. If you want me to be completely honest with you, not saying a millionaire or anything like that, but I would pretty well be set where I didn't have to look for those high paying jobs. And, I had to take a break from that. That's why I went to the rehabilitation center. For one, it was fun. Like, I miss those residents so much, and I do go visit them once in a while. And when I got hired, I she told me what I was starting out, and it for once in my life it didn't bug me. I was taking a $9 pay cut from my previous job before that, but I wasn't happy there. And my goals in life when I take jobs, I want to be happy. I want to have fun, and I did all that there, but it just came to the point where the money I was making wasn't it wasn't affording me to pay my bills and all that stuff because I've spent the last 4 years trying to pay off my bills and any debt that I have. I just paid off my car that I've had. I pretty much bought it brand new and it took me 7 years to pay off, and that's finally paid off, and that was a big chunk of my income. And with the rehabilitation center job, after I paid my car payment, I really didn't have much left. And I got a growing boy. You know, I've had full custody of him for the last 11 years, and he's been my primary goal. He's been my everything. Everything I do for him. And I know I'm gonna probably get people to comment, "Oh, what about your daughter? What about your daughter?" I love my daughter. I talk to my daughter weekly, but she's 18. She lives on her own. She has her own job. I don't worry about her too much. she's 18. Her financial situations are on her. And, if need be, her mom and her stepdad help. And if she needs me, then she knows I'm right here. I try to guide my kids and share my mistakes with them so they don't make the same mistakes. But you know what? Kids are going to be kids and they're going to do what they're going to do. And I preach to my daughter all the time, save your money, don't go out and party, set yourself up for the future. She does not listen to me, and neither did I at 18. Like every parent, I want both my kids to succeed. I want them to follow their dreams. I want them to find their purpose in life. And I'll be right here along the way to help them out as much as I can. And a part of me has always thought, well, I enjoy helping people. Maybe that was my purpose through, I was in the fire service for 12 years, EMS, you know, the CFG. The CFG brand is meant to help people. The CFG brand is meant for people to listen and to go, wow, I'm going through that right now. I can get through this. Or I've just got so much I want to do with this brand and so much I want to accomplish. There's just some small roadblocks in the way first that I've got to get through. I'm not going to spoil the secrets right now, but there's a lot of things that are going to be in the works very soon. But there's a lot of things that I've got to learn first because I'm not going to jump into adding more projects to myself if I don't know anything about it or if I don't know how to do it. I've been interested in real estate for years. I want to get my real estate license. I want to. I know you don't have to have a certification for it, but I want to get a life coach certification. I want to be able to speak in front of people. I want to be on other people's podcasts. There's just so much, but I'm trying so hard not to put a million things on my plate like I did, a couple months ago with two full-time jobs and schooling. And I mean, I left social media for a month because I was so burned out. I mean, really, this will be the 12th episode of the Confident Fat Guy podcast, but really, three of those episodes were just telling you guys, hey, I'm going to be gone for a little bit or I'm coming back. So, really, this is the 10th episode, and I'm very proud of it. I've learned so much from doing podcasts, and I'm still learning because I'm going to have guests on. And speaking of guests, you guys heard me talk about last week about Aaron 5 News. Well, I have been in contact with him, and we are going to set up a date, and we're going to get together, and we're going to talk about his amazing journey and why he got into the news biz and what he wants to accomplish with it. And I think it'll be really cool. And that will be my first guest if I can make it work. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I've been talking to Kai. You know, Kai has been a sister I never thought I needed, but a sister I wanted. We talk often, and she's doing amazing. Um, we actually had a little bit of a Zoom call today, but she actually got called into work, and I was so dead tired, and she's seen that. So we're gonna talk tomorrow. So I'm excited for that. So really, if my purpose in life or what I was meant to do has already passed, I'm making a new purpose. I'm still gonna always wonder what my actual purpose in life was. And again, maybe it's this. Maybe the CFG brand was my purpose. Again, the world will never know, but I don't ever want you all to give up on a dream, even if it sounds so silly to somebody else. It doesn't matter. You do you. You do what makes you happy. This world's a messed up place right now, and it's hard to be happy about a lot of things, but follow your dreams. Don't let society ruin you. Because I'm telling you right now, there are a lot of keyboard warriors and people out there that just have fun. And I believe their purpose in life was to torture everybody else. If you want me to be completely honest, don't let them bring you down. You're gonna get a lot of comments. You're gonna get a lot of this, a lot of that. That was probably one of my biggest things when I started the CFG brand was how is everybody gonna take it? How are people gonna respond to it? And I haven't even, you guys can always get a hold of me. There's a fan page that you guys can leave comments and questions and all that stuff, and I can answer them through my podcast. I haven't set up a direct email yet, which again, that's in the works, where I can talk to you guys. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to sit down or have an audience with one person or, a couple thousand and just talk and share my experiences. I want to do school tours. There's so much I want to do, but don't let people bring you down because there's a lot of people in this world that love to bring people down and to criticize just for the fun of it. Don't listen to them. Everyone has a purpose in life. Just because you haven't found it yet doesn't mean it's not there. And if your purpose in life was already past, build a new one. Start a new purpose because that's what I'm doing. I'm starting a new purpose in life. Is it going to work out? I don't know, but I'm not going to quit. There's still so much work to be done. There's so much more to be accomplished. Remember this, failure is not an option. You get knocked down, you get back up. I know it's a corny statement. I've heard it all my life, but really honestly, it's true. A lot of you probably have a million different things that you're interested in. If one doesn't work out, go to the next one. And if that one doesn't work out, go to the next one until one sticks and you're happy and you're succeeding and you're successful. Really, what I'm trying to get at is don't give up. Make your own purpose. Work hard, stay focused, follow your dreams, and crush your goals. You hear me say that all the time, and it's true. That's really how I try to live my life, and that's what I preach to you guys. Thank you again for joining me on another episode of the Confident Fat Guy podcast. I believe we are at almost at 150 downloads, which it seems cool to me. Thank you. I can never say that enough. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for downloading. It's awesome, and there's more to come. So I will see you guys next week for another episode of the Confident Fat Guy podcast. Remember, stay positive, stay focused, conquer your dreams, crush your goals, love yourself, and love each other.